Welcome back, beautiful, beloved souls. I'm again offering this until the end of June. So, for those of you who are new, my name is Gem Stone. I'm a psychic medium and I'm an author. On this channel, you will find I do about 95% commentaries, occasional PowerPoints, and I don't fit a particular niche. I look at anything and everything through a lens. Okay, so if you want to learn how to channel or how to remote view, I'm offering these PDFs for free until the end of the month. What have you got to lose? Just a few minutes of your time sending me an email. Okay, let's get on with it. Another commentary. Yes, I had another packet of chips before I started this time. This one. Okay, CERN, Shutdown, is the particle accelerator holding our physical reality together? Well, welcome back, my friends. Today we're stepping into territory where cutting-edge physics, consciousness theories, and the Mandela effect, which I've discussed many times on my channel because the Mandela effect has had a huge impact on my life. So we're looking at physics, consciousness, Mandela effect, and spiritual speculation. They collide head on. We're asking a question that sounds like science fiction, but has captured the imagination of countless researchers, experiencers, and alternative thinkers around the world. What if the most dangerous thing humanity could do isn't turning CERN on, but turning it off? Most people know CERN as the home of the Large Hadron Collider, the world's most powerful particle accelerator. Officially, it exists to study the building blocks of reality. Unofficially, some believe it may be doing something far stranger. Some theorists suggest the machine isn't simply observing reality. They believe it may be helping stabilize it. According to this idea, the collider acts as a kind of technological anchor holding human consciousness inside a dense and predictable version of reality, a synthetic timeline, an engineered consensus, a collective agreement that keeps physical laws behaving exactly as expected. And if that anchor disappeared, what happens then? Would nothing change at all? Or would humanity discover that reality is far more fluid than we ever imagined? Let's dive in. The high-frequency anchor. Before we explore the theory, let's briefly discuss what CERN actually does. The Large Hadron Collider is an enormous underground ring stretching roughly 27 kilometers beneath the border of Switzerland and France. Inside this ring, particles are accelerated to incredible speeds before colliding with tremendous energy. Scientists study these collisions to better understand matter, energy, space, time, and the origins of the universe. Simple enough, yet alternative researchers often point to the astonishing energies involved. Currents runs can reach around 13.6 trillion electron volts. To conventional physics, that's simply an engineering achievement. To others, it raises an entirely different question. Could repeatedly generating these extreme energetic conditions create effects that extend beyond the laboratory? Subconscious researchers speculate that reality itself may function as an information field. If consciousness and matter are interconnected, then perhaps large-scale manipulations of fundamental particles produce ripple effects through the field itself. Think of reality not as a solid object, but as a giant ocean. The particles are waves. Consciousness is also a wave, and CERN may be acting like a giant artificial current running through the entire sea. According to this theory, the collider's electromagnetic systems create a localized density bubble. Not a physical bubble you could see, an informational bubble. A region where reality becomes more rigid, more predictable, more locked into a specific version of itself. The theory suggests this rigidity, so it's rigid, might extend far beyond Switzerland, perhaps even globally. Now, before anyone starts packing emergency supplies and building underground bunkers, it is important to say there is currently no accepted scientific evidence supporting this claim. But as a thought experiment, it raises fascinating questions. Could our reality be more malleable than we think? And if so, what happens when a machine capable of interact with the deepest layers of matter suddenly goes silent? The strange feeling that time has changed. Many people report that something feels different about reality today compared to decades ago. Time seems faster. Years vanish like weeks. They sure do. Events blur together. News cycles repeat endlessly. Political dramas feel trapped in a loop. Economic crises arrive, disappear, and return wearing different clothes. People often describe life as feeling strangely static despite constant change. Some researchers call this sensation timeline fatigue. Others jokingly refer it to as Groundhog Day reality. Wake up. Check the news. Experience outrage. Go to sleep. Rinse and repeat. Many alternative thinkers propose that humanity may have become trapped inside a rigid frequency structure, a reality lane from which deviation has become increasingly difficult. Could this sensation simply be caused by technology, social media, stress, and aging? Absolutely. But those exploring consciousness-based theories ask other questions. What if there is an energetic component as well? What if some external stabilizing force is reinforcing our collective perception? Could CERN be part of that mechanism? Again, we are entering the realm of speculation, but it provides an interesting lens through which to examine our shared experiences. Mandela effects and maintenance windows. One of the most intriguing claims surrounding CERN involves the Mandela effect. For those unfamiliar, the Mandela effect occurs when large groups of people remember something differently from recorded history. Movie quotes, brand logos, historical events, geographical details, entire conversations. Theories vary wildly. Some believe these are simply memory errors. Others suggest they may indicate timeline shifts, parallel realities, or alterations within a larger informational framework. What fascinates many researchers is the timing. Every time CERN undergoes maintenance, upgrades, or operational pauses, internet forums light up with reports of unusual experiences. People claim memories feel different. Dreams become vivid. Synchronicities increase. Reality feels less stable. Now, correlation does not equal causation. The human mind is exceptionally good at finding patterns. How many times in a video do I say that? That we are good at looking for patterns. Still, the persistence of these reports has helped fuel theories that CERN somehow influences collective perception. Whether these experiences originate from psychology, expectation, coincidence, or something deeper remains an open question. But the conversation continues, and perhaps that alone tells us something important about humanity's desire to understand the nature of reality. The Great Uncoupling. Now, let's venture into the truly speculative territory. Imagine CERN shuts down permanently. No future upgrades, no future collisions, no giant superconducting magnets humming beneath Europe. Just silence. What happens? Conventional science says almost certainly nothing. Life continues exactly as before. The Earth keeps spinning. Physics remains unchanged. But alternative theorists point a very different picture. They propose that reality has become dependent upon artificial stabilization. Remove the stabilizer, and humanity experiences what they call the Great coupling. At first, the changes would be subtle. People report vivid dreams, increased intuition, powerful synchronicities, unexpected psychic experiences, moments where reality feels unusually responsive. Then, according to the theory, the effects intensify. Manifestation accelerates. Thoughts influence outcomes more rapidly. The separation between observer and observed begins to blur. In essence, reality becomes participatory. Human consciousness starts interacting directly with the underlying informational field, not because humanity suddenly gains new powers, but because an artificial dampening mechanism has been removed. It's a captivating idea. Whether it reflects truth or symbolism is another matter entirely. The veil of the Higgs field. No discussion of CERN. Sorry, my throat's really dry. No discussion of CERN would be complete without mentioning the Higgs boson. Popular media often call it the God particle. Scientists themselves genuinely dislike that nickname. Nevertheless, it captured public imagination. The Higgs field helps explain why certain particles possess mass. Without it, our universe would look very different. Alternative interpretations go further. Some propose the Higgs field is not merely a property of nature. Hold on for a minute. Sorry. They suggest it acts as a veil, a density layer, a filtering mechanism that limits perception. In this view, physical reality is not the entirety of existence. It is merely one band on a vast cosmic radio dial. Human beings normally remain tuned to a narrow range of frequencies. The veil keeps us focused, grounded, localized. Some theorists ask whether technologies that manipulate fundamental particles may also influence the veil. Could the collider strengthen it? Excuse me. Sorry, I got a cough. So, could the collider strengthen the veil? Could Shutdown weaken it? Again, there is no accepted evidence supporting such conclusions, but as a philosophical question, it touches something ancient. For thousands of years, mystics, shamans, and spiritual traditions have suggested that reality extends beyond what the physical senses can detect. The languages changes, the idea remains. The fluid reality hypothesis. Let's take the thought experiment even further. Imagine reality is not fixed. Imagine it resembles wet clay rather than carved stone. Under ordinary circumstances, collective consciousness shapes that clay very slowly. Civilizations change. Beliefs evolve. History unfolds. but everything happens at a manageable pace. Now imagine a stabilizing influence disappears. The clay softens. Suddenly, consciousness has greater influence. Intent matters more. Before I continue, how many times have I told you about intent? So intent matters more. Expectation matters more. Belief matters more. This is the essence of the fluid reality hypothesis. In such a world, humanity would face a remarkable challenge. Every fear, every hope, every assumption, every deeply held belief would contribute to shaping the shared experience. The external world would begin reflecting the internal world with increasing fidelity. For some, that sounds like heaven. For others, it sounds terrifying. After all, most people struggle to control their thoughts for 5 minutes. Imagine helping shape reality with them. That would be like giving a flamethrower to a squirrel and asking it to perform brain surgery. The potential is enormous. So is the chaos. Liberation or collapse? That brings us to the central question. If CERN truly functions as a stabilizing anchor, would shutting it down be liberation or disaster? Supporters of the ascension theory see liberation. Humanity reconnects with intuition. Telepathy increases. Spiritual awareness expands. The veil thins. Consciousness evolves. Critics see a very different outcome. They argue that stability itself is precious. Physical laws allow civilization to function. Predictability allows growth. A stable reality provides the framework through which consciousness can learn and develop. Perhaps the cage is actually a classroom. Perhaps the limitation serves a purpose. Perhaps we are not imprisoned. Perhaps we are enrolled, and that possibility deserves consideration too. Preparing for a fluid future. Regardless of where you stand on CERN, consciousness, or dimensional theories, there is value in preparing for uncertainty. If reality is becoming more responsive, cultivating clarity becomes important. How many times have I said this too? Observe your thoughts. Question your assumptions. Remain grounded. Balance curiosity with discernment. Avoid becoming trapped by fear-based narratives. At the same time, avoid dismissing every unusual experience automatically. Healthy skepticism and open-minded exploration can coexist. In fact, they should. The most reliable compass is neither blind belief nor cynical disbelief. It is thoughtful investigation, one question at a time, one observation at a time, one experience at a time. Final thoughts. So, is CERN secretly holding reality together? Is the Large Hadron Collider functioning as a synthetic anchor, preventing humanity from entering a more fluid dimensional state? At present, there is no scientific evidence demonstrating that it is. Yet the theory persists because it speaks to something deeper than physics. Oh, my voice. It reflects humanity's enduring suspicion that reality may be stranger than what it appears, that consciousness matters, that perception shapes experience, that behind the machinery of the universe there may be layers we have yet to understand. Maybe CERN is simply a magnificent scientific instrument. Maybe it is something more. Or perhaps the real mystery isn't buried beneath Switzerland at all. Perhaps the greatest particle collider ever constructed sits quietly inside every human skull. Every day, thoughts collide. Beliefs collide. Memories collide. Dreams collide. And from those collisions emerges the reality each one of us experiences. Whatever the truth be, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, the universe has never promised to be simple, only fascinating. Until next time, take care of yourselves and keep looking beyond the veil. All right, if you're going to drop a comment, I ask that you do so with respect, please. If only the world was more respectful, more tolerant, less judgmental, what a better place it would be. Again, sorry, I had to cough, my throat was dry. I still don't learn a lesson. You know, the definition of insanity is when you do the same thing over and over again, expect a different outcome. Yesterday, I ate chips before. Today, I've eaten chips. Well, they're nice. They're the deli-style chips. All right, I'll just show you this again. And I ask that you please be kind to each other. Smile at a stranger. You might just save someone's life, and it costs nothing to be nice. Come on, guys. Free PDFs until the end of June. After June, I'm not going to show this again because no one seems to be interested. All right, take care of yourselves because you matter. Love, light, and blessings. Sorry my head got cut off for most of that video. Bye.